thus get, if I understand this, 288, 284, plus 260, and that's assuming it's 212, and 265,097. I'm good, I'm a graduate here. That is 553, 381. 288, 284, 265,097, I think is 553, 381. Approximately. Approximately. Mr. Finger, this is subject to you. 288, 284, and 265,097. If my math is right, it's 553, 381. Thus, the public school students, assuming the state gives us in writing, the 765 is over 8, 9, 9, 10, assuming the carryover, and they will not question is that the legitimate carryover, and assuming the 500, 284, you follow? The
other people got theirs and left.
500, 284, we appeal whatever we use for public programming in
we're not free.
Summer 9,
and
the difference, and therefore we'll send out a letter tomorrow to Miss Oxy and company and say, hey, this is what we're going on. We're going on point 1, 2, 3. If she says, or whoever,
we have to act on this money by July 7th.
Right.
Send a letter out tomorrow.
We therefore would rescind from the ARA waiver 288, 284. Does everyone understand what I just said? I really like
Use the carryover. You know, send the 288 and
right, but I just want to make it clear, Mr. Thomas and others, I am very wary of government entities. So I want to make sure that they agree. We will get out a letter, Mr. Finger will get out a letter, or we'll get out a letter tomorrow.
We need to make a motion?
Yeah, we need a motion, but it's all contingent on the state. Now, let me just put this contingency, I know we're tired, but the contingency is if the state does not give us in writing that the 765, 381 is all we allegedly owe for 8, 9, and 9, 10, and they're not going to come back and they're barred from ever bringing it up again. And even if vendors complain and this one complains, this is it. And 265,097 is a carryover, and they're not going to question that carryover. And the amount we use, if they do those 2 steps, but if they don't agree to those 2 steps, then you can't agree to that, but you could agree, but then you could be open, and even my friends out there will agree, we need to get that in writing, because if not, then they can come back and possibly say you owe even more money. You understand that? Okay, I'm not, I just don't want the board later to get a bill and say, oh, we forgot that other 500, and we've seen that here, and we've won. Okay?
Mr. Chair, how long do you expect that this response will take place?
Exactly.
Well, again, I don't control, despite rumor, the New Jersey Department of Education. There is a new commissioner who's very responsive to the needs of the population. However, I'm concerned, Lenny, in his question, if they don't get back to us by July 7th, you have to preserve, you have to preserve your legal right, because if you don't appeal by then, you waive that appeal. I'm not saying you should appeal, but I don't want anyone later to say, well, why didn't he tell us that? So if we don't get a response by July 7, I'm going to file an appeal immediately and say, if you give me what we want, well then we're going to withdraw the appeal. The appeal will be filed before July 7th, but it will say, just so no one says, oh, it's going to be filed. And it will say, if you agree to this, we will withdraw our appeal. If not, our appeal continues. This way you're protected. I have to protect you because I know someone's waiting for me to screw up here, and it will happen eventually, but not while I'm coherent.
I move on that.
Did you put that in a motion?
Yeah, I move on that.
Assume that is a motion.
Okay.
To rescind on 288,284.
The whole thing.
ARA waiver. And to appeal the $212,000.
And with
the carryover of 265 and 17.
And this is all presumed that in writing that said you're authorizing me to immediately file an appeal. That means before July 7th. It's not going to be tomorrow. Maybe Sunday. I work a little. But all what I just said, that's what you're voting on?
Yes, everything that you said as spoken, I said.
He said it, not second.
Roll call, Mr. President. Call it. Okay, Ms. Gonzalez.
Yes.
Mr. Grunhut.
Yes.
Ms. Spicchio.
Yes.
Mr. Ostreicher.
Abstain.
Mr. Steitler.
Yes.
Mr. Silver.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Mrs. Lockett?
No.
Motion passes.
Motion to adjourn.
No, I'd like to go back and discuss 5 minutes of personnel issue in.
He did ask that earlier.
I may
What
make a
now?
motion that Carl had mentioned before to limit in the future, as the township does, public discussion for 1 hour.
I would,
I didn't hear Mr. Zlakin down here because I was.
I think an hour and a half would be more appropriate.
What does he want to discuss?
He wants to limit the public.
As the township does for 1 hour, there's nothing.
No,
Mr. Reverend, I beg.
But
Mike, get it right, Mike. Mike, get it right. Get it right.
We're not going to vote on it tonight.
I think the reason
Oh, I didn't
why
vote on
we
Okay.
discuss the situation is, let's deal with the reality.
Next time you
We're
meet
here
with Senator
till
Singer,
we're here
invite
till 1
me.
o'clock tonight. It has nothing to do with the amount of time the public was
Reverend.
recorded.
Correct.
It has everything to do with
Reverend,
us
you
being
hear
back
me?
here and going back and forth on the issue.
Not say it has.
On the issue of stuff that belong to us that we can't get.
As the board parliamentarian, it needs to be discussed. It will be discussed. I don't think Mr. Zlakin was saying vote on it this evening. All right, I'm wrong.
Through the chair,
Punch you right now.
Mr. President.
Better drive me to the airport in a few hours.
through the chair,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to make a comment.
Don't bring up.
As I see the clock has
Ticked over
from June 30th to July 1st.
July.
I really wanted to make my comment on June 30th, but because of everything. So please let it be considered as if I'm making it on June 30th rather than on July 1st. Today, two very, very valuable individuals left the district due to retirement. They are Mr. Anderson and Cynthia Romano. I wanted to take this moment to really thank them for their hard work, for their dedication, for their commitment to the district. It's too bad that they're not here to hear me say this in front of them.
They can watch the video.
They'll watch the video, they'll read the transcripts that we have, but we really wish them all the success in their retirement, and we really, really appreciate and recognize all the hard work, commitment, and devotion that they did for this.
We actually had a very nice party for both of them a few days ago.
We did, and for those who say that we don't make parties, we did make a party for them, and we also would like to. I'd like to make a motion so that they are recognized appropriately.
You were subcalling.
Very nice.
I didn't.
Anybody would like to second that? So
All right, hooray, mazel tov. Now, could I ask a question?
yeah. All in favor?
Aye. Mr. Grunhead has asked to go into closed session for 5 minutes.
Let the people go.
Well, that has, again, Leonard.
That's an Exodus.
Leonard.
Stay right there. We'll leave it in.
What's good for the good is good for the gander.
Yes.
He has a right to ask that.
Second that.
And it's seconded.
You come out.
Call it.
All in favor? Any noes? Seeing none, we're going into closed session. Action could be taken.
It's 1 o'clock.
I know what it is, man.